Welcome to the Knot of the Week. You nerds are going to love this week. I'm going to do something in a series that I have wanted to do for years, but I'm going to use the Knot of the Week to actually make it happen. So I'm kind of using this series to force myself to finally make a knot board. So if you're not familiar with what a knot board is, it's basically a display. So we're calling it the knot board display. And I'm using, so just to give you a size reference, so this is like an 18 by 24 piece of MDF. I think it's about a 1/4 inch MDF. But that's what I'm going to use as a baseboard to display all the different knots that we tie here on the Knot of the Week. So I've wanted to do this for a long time. The problem is that I've really never figured out how I'm going to do it. And I still don't really know how I'm going to do it, but I have the supplies now, so I'm forcing myself to do this, right? So I've got 1/4 inch cotton rope. So this is cotton rope, which is terrible. It's not really good for anything other than making a knot board, in my opinion. I would never use cotton rope to tie down anything, to have any kind of weight bearing or anything like that. So anyhow, 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch, as well as 1/8 inch. So this is kind of like a twine almost, but everything's 3-strand. So if you were to take this apart, I've actually got 3 strands in each one of these diameters. So the reason I got the really small stuff is if there's some kind of small knot work, I'm probably going to use this for it. I'm also going to use this to whip the ends, because if you were to cut cotton rope, this kind of thing happens. So it unravels very easily, just like natural fiber rope does. So I'm going to whip the ends of that, and that comes right after the heavy petting. But I'm going to whip the ends of the rope when I tie the knots. And, you know, my goal is to have each of the knots be roughly, I don't know, maybe like I don't even know what that is, 3 by 3 square or something like that. So my goal is to fit a lot of knots on the board as a way to display them and kind of highlight everything we tie on the Knot of the Week. And I may even try to do something fancy and spell out Knot of the Week with rope or something like that. I don't know yet. But, you know, they can go from very simple to pretty complex with people doing rope work around like the edges and stuff like that. So I'm going to experiment with kind of how I can do that around the edges. Obviously, this project is kind of in its infancy. So if you guys have suggestions and questions about this kind of stuff, leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear if you guys have ever done anything like this. Again, I've wanted to do this for years, and I'm finally making it happen. You know, it's just like the first step of any project. You buy everything first, and then you're like, oh yeah, I need to do that. So I've had this for a while, believe it or not. I looked up the date of when I got this stuff, and I've had it since 2016. So it's been a while that I've had this stuff. Finally getting around to it. So what I'm going to do each week is we will tie a different knot. So I'm kind of just using this. I'm using this as not just a way to show you my progression of this project each week. I'm going to actually tie a different knot during each one of our Knot of the Weeks, and I will first tie the knot the regular way with regular rope so everyone can see how the knot is tied, so it's kind of a refresher in a sense, but then I will tie the small version of it for the knot board. I'm still figuring out how I'm going to attach everything to the board. I thought about using like a glue or a paste to coat the finished product or the finished knot before I put it on the board, just so it stays put. However, I want to find something that's not going to yellow with age as well, so I'm still kind of experimenting with that. If you guys know anything that would be good for that application, please leave it in the comments, because I'm still kind of researching that part of it. But anyway, so this is the knot board display, and we will be highlighting this on our Knot of the Week series. So hopefully you guys are interested in this. I know this is kind of a geeky project, but again, something I've always wanted to do, and glad you guys are along for the ride.